Welcome back to another episode of making an Appalachian mountain dulcimer. When I left off last time, I had finished carving the steps in the top and bottom of the dulcimer with the router. Today, I'm going to shift my focus to refining the carved steps with a chisel and bringing the outside of the dulcimer closer to its final shape. To start, I'll trim off the excess wood using the bandsaw. My theory is that if I cut the steps the same on each side of the dulcimer, then it should be symmetrical as it is right now. If I'm only trimming the corners off the steps with the chisel, then it should still be symmetrical when I'm finished. Obviously, it isn't perfect, but it should be pretty close. I know it looks like I'm moving the wood around a lot, and that's because I am. Something to keep in mind here, and about carving in general, is that you always want to carve downhill or carve with the grain. In my case, I want to cut from the wider parts of the dulcimer towards the narrower parts, which means a lot of moving the wood around so I can cut in the right direction. Using a smaller chisel means it takes less force to push the chisel through the wood, but it also means I'm removing less material. If you find yourself pushing the chisel too hard, it usually means you're doing something wrong. This seems like a good time to point out that the skinny part in the middle of the dulcimer is lower than either of the two ends. The higher layers in the middle don't run all the way across, but if they did, they would be covered up by the fingerboard. After carving the dulcimer roughly to shape, I'm going to clean up some loose hairs with sandpaper. And for anyone wondering, no, I did not cut myself. I just wrapped some tape around my finger where the chisel was rubbing up against my skin, although gloves may have been a better choice. As with everything else, the same process needs to be repeated on the back. I have a bit of wood left over at the end, so I'm going to save that for later. I'm not sure if I'll use it on this project or for something else, but we'll see when the time comes. I had a small crack open up on the bottom. It's been glued up, and it sat overnight, but I haven't taken the tape off yet. It's usually not a good idea to use duct tape as a clamp, because when it comes off, it pulls some of the wood fibers with it. In this situation, it's okay, because I can't get a clamp to hold it, and I need to carve that section anyway. Apart from the fingerboard, carving the bottom is the same as carving the top. Once the bottom has been roughly carved to shape, it's time to clean it up. I'm going to start with some 60 grit sandpaper and work my way up. I still have a long way to go on this project, so I don't need to go all the way to the final grit, but I would like to get it cleaned up a little. Honestly, sanding is my least favorite part of making a dulcimer. It's difficult because there are so many different surfaces that it's easy to miss one, and I find myself going back to fix them later after I thought I was done. Because this is a curved piece of wood, a power sander is barely effective. This video is run a little long, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.